We go. We've been working on begin the conversation, step 7 of my 14-point listing presentation. And if you would like, we can role play a listing presentation. All I need is a volunteer to come up front and we'll just role play steps 7, 8, and 9 on the listing presentation. Does that sound like a good idea? Raise hands, nod heads, give me a thumbs up if you're on Facebook, if you're on Zoom. Okay, Aaron. Now, Aaron, this is real. Okay, we're not going to do anything goofy. You still want to do it? All right, then come on up. And I'm going to push this back so that Aaron can be on camera as well. If I can get someone in the room, Carissa, to be my videographer, just shoot a few minutes of this on video, separate from this video, so that we can promote this. And don't ask me why my iPad is wet. It's soaking wet. I hope it's waterproof. Yeah, that chair makes a lot of noise. So just be careful not to move. Just hit the red button and point it at us when we get going, okay? All right, so Aaron, I'm going to do this. We're going to scooch back. I'm going to put you over there so I can see you. And I'm going to sit over here. Yeah, I'm being. You guys don't trust me, do you? No. I don't blame you. All right, so Aaron, scooch a little bit closer. There we go. All right, so let me set this up. In beginning the conversation and sitting down at the kitchen table, my goal is to convey. And you guys feel free to finish my sentences for me because you've heard me say this 1,000 times. My goal is to convey that I care about Aaron, he can trust me, and I know what I'm doing, right? And I don't want to be like all of the other real estate agents who show up and sell and tell. I want to have a consultative conversation with Aaron.
Should I have recorded that?
No.
That was really good.
Oh, well, I mean, you could have, but, and we're going to begin the conversation. You can hit record anytime. We're going to begin the conversation with a goal of conveying, I care about the person I'm speaking to. They can trust me and I know what I'm doing. Now, in real life, we're sitting at a kitchen table. I'm speaking with Aaron and Mrs. Aaron, and I have a single. So everybody out there, Aaron's available. You want to give me your phone number? No? Okay. And I'm taking notes. When you take notes, you demonstrate that you care.
Right.
If you're not writing anything down, you're demonstrating that you don't care. And of course, I don't have my legal pad with me, but we're just going to pretend that I'm taking notes. I'm writing down what Aaron says. Okay, Aaron, you ready? Mm-hmm. All right. Ready, Mom? Okay, cool. Aaron, first of all, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to meet with you today.
Of course, yeah.
You know, it's always a privilege and an honor to meet with someone and discuss the possibility of the Dietz team representing them in the sale of their home.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd like to start by sharing my mission statement with you. Would that be okay?
Sure.
Cool. So Aaron, my mission is to meet your goals and exceed your expectations.
Nice.
Now, because of that mission statement, whenever I meet with a potential seller, one of 3 things typically happens. Mm-hmm. One of those 3 things will probably happen today. Either number 1, they understand and appreciate the benefits that I have to offer and they hire me, which is awesome.
Okay.
The second thing that occasionally happens is they don't hire me, which quite honestly isn't so awesome.
Okay.
And then the third thing that happens every so often is I may choose to turn the opportunity down.
Don't you need the listing? Why would you do that?
You know, that's a great question. I'm so glad you asked, and you're really going to like the answer. You see, Aaron, if I meet with a seller and I feel that they have a goal or an expectation that I cannot meet or exceed, I would rather turn the opportunity down today than let you down 6 months from now.
Okay, makes sense.
Cool. So Aaron, in order for me to know if I can meet your goals and exceed your expectations, I need to ask you a couple of questions. Would that be okay?
Sure.
Awesome. So first question, Aaron, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not so great and 10 being awesome, what's one thing that needs to happen in the sale of your home that would cause you to consider the experience a 10?
Getting the list price. I really would like 500,000 for my house.
Okay. So, and if it's okay with you, I'm going to take notes.
That's fine.
Okay. So get your list price and you want 500,000 for your home.
Yes.
Correct? Cool. Tell me, what does that do for you?
It'll allow us to pay off, the rest of this mortgage and also put, the down payment on the next place.
Okay. So pay off your mortgage and have money for a down payment on the next home.
Yes.
Right? Got it. Now, Aaron, if we can accomplish a second goal, let's say it's going to make this a 10 plus experience. What else needs to happen for this to be a 10 plus experience?
Well, we would like to move as soon as possible. So I was looking at a 30 to 45 day transaction. So it's
okay. So move as soon as possible in 30 to 45 days.
Yes.
Okay, Aaron, are we looking to get a contract in 30 to 45 days, or do you want to be sitting at the closing table 30 to 45 days from now?
I would like to be sitting at the closing table.
Okay, so we're looking at a contract within the next 14 days then.
Yes.
Got it. And tell me, why is that important to you?
So I actually have a job transfer to Atlanta. So
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so sounds like you're going, whether the house is sold and closed or not.
Yes.
Okay, so if we could accomplish a third goal so that this was a 10 plus experience, what's the third goal?
Well, since I'm dealing with a realtor, I would like as much hands off as possible. So, stress-free, just worry-free, and the transaction completely handled.
Okay, so hands off, stress-free, worry-free, and you want a real estate agent who's going to handle everything for you.
Yeah.
Okay, and again, what does that do for you?
It allows me to prepare to get ready to move, make sure my family is okay. Well, I'm single. Make sure my job in Atlanta is ready for me and everything's smooth.
Makes sense. All right. Are there any other goals, or are these 3 goals that I wrote down it?
That's just about it.
Okay. Now, if we could accomplish one of these 3 goals, nail it, and barely miss the other 2, what's the number 1 goal?
I would really like 500,000 for the house.
Okay. So if we got $500,000 for your home, however, it took longer than 14 days to get it under contract, and it's not closed 30 to 45 days from now. And maybe possibly you've moved to Atlanta without the house being sold yet, but you got $500,000 and you had a smooth sale, but there were a few speed bumps. Is that still a successful sale?
I wouldn't count it maybe 100% successful.
Okay. Yeah. Would it still be a 10 on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'd give it like an 8, 9.
Okay. Is $500,000 more important, or having your home under contract in 14 days more important?
I would feel as, because when I moved to Atlanta, I would want to leave everything down here in Fort Lauderdale. It might not be the most important. So I would say time.
Time?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there might come time. I'm not saying that you're going to have to, because my job is to get all these goals accomplished. But for you, there might come a time where you have to make a decision where you can't have both. You can have one or the other. And what I'm hearing is time is a little bit more important than money. Is that correct?
Yep.
Got it. All right. So Aaron, before we move on, one more question for you. If I were able to demonstrate that I'm the right agent for the job, and I can help you accomplish all of these goals that you shared with me today, are you ready to get started today?
Well, I do have a couple more listing appointments signed up with a few other agents. So.
Okay, cool. So let's get started. All right. Now, what I'm going to do, end of role play, you did amazing. Thank you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to transition to the next step, which is satisfy their needs. So what we did, the first step 7 into the 14-point listing presentation is begin the conversation. That's where we're setting expectations. We're letting Aaron know that one of 3 things are going to happen. Either he's going to hire me, he's not going to hire me, or I might turn the opportunity down. I'm conveying that I care about him, that he can trust me, and I know what I'm doing. I'm transitioning into a needs analysis, step 8, where I am asking Aaron on a scale of 1 to 10, what's one thing, not the one thing, super important, words matter. What's one thing that needs to happen that would cause you to consider the experience a 10? And I'm going 3 deep. With every single answer I get, what does that do for you? Why is that important to you? What does that look like? And I'm getting all of his goals, and then I'm transitioning to prioritize the needs. In other words, if we can accomplish one of these goals, but barely miss the other 2, what's number 1? And when they tell you money's most important, read back to them what they said. In other words, so if we got $500,000 for your home, however, it took longer than 14 days to get a contract, maybe 30 days, maybe your home isn't sold when you move to Atlanta. Pause and let it sink in. You're dropping bombs. Give it time to have an effect. And there were a few speed bumps. It was smooth, but not without any challenges. Just a few speed bumps. Would that still be a successful sale? Now, if you hear yes, cool. But what you might hear is what Aaron did, which is, now that I think about it, time is more important than money. We're helping Aaron discover what his goals are, because prior to this conversation, he hasn't even thought about it. All he's thought about so far is he wants to sell his house. He wants the most amount of money. He wants his home to sell in the least amount of time. And he wants me to work for free. That's it. That's all he's thought about so far. Now I'm helping Aaron self-discover. For him, it's a consultation. I'm not selling and telling. Matter of fact, I haven't sold anything yet. I haven't told anything yet. 100% of this conversation has been about who? Aaron. Now, the next step is trial close. If I can demonstrate that I'm the right agent for the job, are you ready to get started today? And before I get into a conversation with you guys and ask for questions and feedback, I just want to also point out, are you hearing all of the embedded commands? I'm the right agent for the job. If I was able to demonstrate that I can get these goals accomplished, are you ready to hire me today? They're everywhere. It's intentional. All right, did a great job. Thank you. Now, you guys, talk to me, questions, comments, and feedback. David.
That was, oh, go ahead.
No. I should have said, let's let Vicky go, because I know she's there. Vicky, go ahead.
Okay, I'm so sorry, but that was awesome. And I can never hear that enough, because it just keeps sinking in deeper. And those embedded commands and those words that you choose really are so important. And oh my God, I love this, because we have to keep feeding the brain. Keep repeating, because we're going to have the confidence. Thank you so much, John, and Aaron, you're fire.
Thank you, Vicky. Vicky, thank you for that. Thank you. David.
So just in that part of the conversation, what are like the biggest red flags to look for from the seller? Make us more non-negotiables?
Good question. Really good question. So David asked for you in Zoom, if you couldn't hear him, what red flags could I possibly see that would cause me to feel that a seller has a goal or an expectation that I cannot meet or exceed, right? So David, if a seller says, one of my goals is to get my price, your response is, what does that look like? And Aaron gave us the price. I didn't have to ask him. That doesn't always happen, by the way. Now, if I hear $500,000 for my $500,000. I need $500,000 in order to sell my house. And I've done my research prior to going on the appointment. I've put in a lot of time to do my homework. And I know based on other properties in his neighborhood and comparable properties to his, top of the market is, let's say, 450. And we're not in this market where people are willing to pay way above market value for a home, right? In other words, I know there's no chance we're getting 500,000. That could be a goal that we cannot meet or exceed. All right. We're not at this point, though, we're not going to stop and say, you have a goal or an expectation I can't meet or exceed, appointment over. I'm just taking notes, and I know this is a hurdle that I'm going to have to overcome before it's time to close. Another expectation could be time. If you're in a market where the average days on market is 90 days and they expect you to get it sold in 7 days, they're only willing to sign a 30-day agreement, and they want $500,000 for a $450,000 home. They have an unrealistic goal. They have an unrealistic expectation. Okay, cool. All right, Vicki, your hand is still up. I don't know if that's from earlier.
Yes.
If you have okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question. I wanted to know. So when he said, well, you know, this sounds great, but I do have a few other agents I'm meeting with. How do you pivot without sounding pushy at that point? Or maybe there's some magic wand that we need to know what to use.
So during this part of the listing presentation, you don't pivot. During this part of the listing presentation, you're just, you're a detective. You're gathering information. You're taking notes. I'm going to file that away for later. When the listing presentation, when I get to the step where it's time to close, even though he told me in my trial close, because the trial close was, Aaron, if I'm able to demonstrate that I'm the right agent for the job, if I'm able to demonstrate that I can get these goals accomplished, that I give you the best chance of getting these goals accomplished, are you ready to hire me today? And I hear, well, I have a couple more appointments. Cool, let's get started. Just because I heard that doesn't mean I'm not going to close. Then when we get to the end of just keep going. And we get to the end of the listing presentation. So, Aaron, are you ready to get started? That's my close.
Got it.
Now, I might hear, well, you know, John, here come the fire trucks and the National Guard and everything else. Love being right on a main road. Okay. Hold on one second, guys. Okay, I might hear when I close. So Aaron, are you ready to get started? I might hear, you know, John, as I mentioned, I have a couple of appointments tomorrow. Right, Vicki? You be the agent.
Yep.
Role play this.
Yep.
So Vicki,
Okay.
Vicki, are you ready to get started?
Yes.
Vicki,
That's right.
you have a couple of appointments tomorrow.
Okay, go ahead. I was ready to get started anyway, but all right. You know, I have a couple appointments, but let me see what my schedule looks like.
Okay.
Are you available maybe around 12 or 1?
Stop. Yeah, you need every seller to be just like Vicki. Vicki, I don't want you to give in so easily. Okay, be tough.
Oh,
on
all
me.
right. I'll be
Tough on
tough.
me. So Vicki, are you ready to get started?
No, I actually need to have a little more time. I think I need to just interview a few more agents.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, I appreciate who you are. You sound amazing, but I just need to see everybody else.
Okay. So Vicki, next question. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being, you don't like anything I said, and you can't wait for me to leave. Now I want to pause for a moment, guys. I want you, because if you've seen me do this 100 times, Jonathan, you've seen me do this 100 times. The way I'm asking that question, meaning smiling and laughing as I'm asking it, is it the same way every time? It is. That's part of the conversation. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being you don't like anything I said, and you can't wait for me to leave, and 10 being I'm the right agent for the job. Where are we at?
You're a 9.
9. Got it.
And it's because I have hesitation. I want to just see who else is out there and what they have to offer.
Totally understand, Vicki. Now, is there anything that I can do today that would make it a 10?
Reduce your commission?
Cool. If I were willing to reduce my commission today, Vicki, would you hire me right now?
Yes.
Okay. So my fee is 6%. If I were willing to lower my fee to 5%, you're hiring me today.
Yes.
Awesome.
Money means everything to me.
Totally agree with that. Now, why is that important to you? If I were willing to work for 5%, what would that do for you?
It'll give me more money at the end. I can
Yeah.
have more money to put down and pay off my, debt.
Yeah, totally understand. And you want $500,000 for your home. 1% of that is $5,000. So if I were willing to lower my fee by 1%, that's an extra $5,000 for you, correct?
Yes.
Got it. Now, Vicki, can I share with you why that concerns me?
Absolutely.
You see, Vicki, if I were willing to give away my money that I use to support my family that quickly, how quickly would I give up your money when we have an offer on your home? You see, Vicki,
Ooh.
you're going to hire an agent, and let's just say that you meet with somebody tomorrow and they're a limited service discount agent. Script, write it down. You meet with somebody tomorrow and they're a limited service discount agent, and you hire them because they're willing to lower their fee. Cool. You're going to tell them that your asking price is $500, but you're also going to tell them that your bottom line is $485. I know you will, because that's what everybody else does. And this time is kind of like those times. Now, here's what's going to happen with that limited service discount agent who's willing to give away their money that they use to support their family quickly. They're going to get an offer on your home for $470. And they're going to say, awesome, because I know she'll take $485. Now, if you could get $500,000, if you had a great negotiator working for you like me, and you just sold your home for $485, how do you feel about that?
Wow. Yeah. You know what? You make a lot of sense, John. I think you're right. I think that we need to just sign right now here. I can't mess around with time.
Okay. Thank you, Vicki.
Love it.
All right. Guys, is this making sense? Right? Let's say it's simply somebody who absolutely wants to meet with, they have another appointment tomorrow. And Laura, they tell you that you're a 10. The only reason they're not hiring you today is because they have that other appointment tomorrow. Now you're sitting at the kitchen table and you can look at them. You're looking at the whites of their eyes and you know they want to hire you. And yet they've got this appointment tomorrow. Laura, can I ask you a question? Okay. Can I share with you why you would actually be doing that agent a favor if you were to cancel that appointment and hire me today? Yeah, you see, you would be doing them a favor because if they're anything like I am, they're going to spend 2 or 3 hours preparing for the appointment. Plus, they're going to spend another 2 or 3 hours looking at your home and sitting down at the kitchen table with you. They're going to have 4 to 6 hours invested. And when you hire me, now don't do that at the kitchen table. That's a little weird. When you hire me, we're not actually earning an advocate in that agent. They're not going to exactly be excited about helping us get your home sold, are they? They're not. You see, if I were to call them and let them know that you've decided to hire me today they could actually spend that 4 to 6 hours preparing and meeting with somebody who will hire them. And I will also let them know that we're not going to put your home on the MLS for a week and give them a week head start on bringing us a buyer. You see, they'd actually make more money than they would if they were to list your home because they don't have to pay to market or advertise it. They're still going to get the same amount of money to bring a buyer. Now that's a win-win. Wouldn't you agree? They win, you win. And how do you feel about that? Yeah, would you like me to make that call? You ready to get started? There you go. Okay.
Wow.
Wow. What do you do for someone new, like the new agents? Like, we don't even know that information.
You do now. That's why you're here. Was I new at one point? Say yes. Of course I was. Do you think I was born knowing how to do this? No, I wasn't.
But I could see it getting, like, losing the opportunity because you just don't know.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
It,
Like, that was tough. I think that was a tough one.
it gets harder than that. I promise. Yeah, a lot harder than that. You're not going to master this in a week. You're not going to master this in a month. Time on task over time equals mastery. And just like you saw Laura yesterday crush the beginning of the first step, begin the conversation. And Laura and I have been working on this for 2 weeks, and she did an amazing job. You're going to get better every day. A week from now, you're going to be better than you are today. 30 days from now, you're going to be better than you are today. Let me use a ridiculous example. Juanita, when you get up to walk out of the room, do you have any doubt that you're going to get up and walk out of the room successfully? You're going to get up, you're going to walk out of the room. It just happens, right? I mean, you don't stop and think about it. Now, how do I do this? 1 foot, then the next foot, left, right, left, right, left, right. Were you born knowing how to do that? Did you fall down a whole bunch when you were little? Did at any point in your life, did you sit down on the ground and say, screw this, I'm done. I'm spending the rest of my life on the floor?
Practice makes perfect.
This time is kind of like that time. Yeah, you're going to fail. Get over it. You'll get better. All right. Holy cow, I've got 9:45. Give me a couple ahas and we're going to jump. Good questions. I want a couple ahas. Like, John, here's what I got. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to implement starting today. Nothing. Cool. All right, Jonathan.
Well, I think like you say, we're real estate babies, and it's not just a matter of trying to get good at it first, but fail.